It's a Sunday morning and I thought I'll come up to this little spot overlooking the city and the beautiful morning dew on the first Sunday of summer 2023, 3rd of December, and I'm enjoying quite longer days in the saddle every now and again when I get the opportunity, and today is one of those opportunities. I have this, which is to say I've got a second camera, and see if I can conjure a story, eh? Alright, join me? Cool. You want to see a motorway? Just near my place. I've shown it before, but today I've introduced it. I'll try not to just be too random, but could end up that way. See how we go. Yeah, I'm going south, that's the plan, and I've just been in my own thoughts, but one thing I have noticed is that festive season is here, and I know that because there's, number one, drunken people on the sides of the roads, number two, drunken people behind wheels of cars, because the way that they drive early in the morning in December is shocking. Little deviation to take in the view and the blissful serenity of traffic-free environment. But what I was just saying then is that as I came down the Prince's Highway, it was clear to me that there were people who weren't fully in control of their senses, in control of a vehicle. And I'll just take this moment early in the ride so that I can get it out of my head, because otherwise it's going to keep echoing through my mind. And that is, a year ago I had some incidents in traffic, and I spent a good part of December 2022 endeavouring to engage with the New South Wales Police. I went through the media department and I put in a number of calls. I put in a JIPA, which is like a Freedom of Information request, to get some stats on how many people had been booked with regards to the minimum passing distance rule. A metre matters is the colloquial term. And I got this naff, lame spreadsheet after spending, I don't know, $60 to get the information, and then no follow-up at all. So I followed it up a number of times this year in an attempt to try and get the New South Wales Police to engage with me to say, hey, what can we do to make cycling a little bit safer? And I have had a few discussions with some people in the police media department, and they just say, send me an email and tell me what you want to do. So I say, well, what I'd like to do is just talk to the police about, you know, what we can do to make cycling safer, which is sort of the premise of how I approached them years ago. The engagement that I've had, zero, absolutely nothing. They're not interested. I'm just saying, hey, look, you know, we can, as a community, can sort of try and, you know, share the love or explain, you know, how to behave better in traffic. And, you know, I'm not saying that I have all of the cycling community watching my videos, but there are a few bike riders in Sydney who, you know, tune in, and they talk to me when I'm out bike riding, and they say, we like your stuff, and, you know, you raise some good points and blah, blah, blah. And so I thought that we could all sort of, you know, gather together and, you know, sort of get a little bit of community interaction, cycling community interaction, to say, hey, don't ride in the middle lane, ride in the left lane, or, you know, don't be a dickhead when you're in a big bunch or whatever. And anyway, and then just sort of engage with the police media department to say, hey, look, you know, this is how people can behave to make conditions on the road safer. And the point of all of this that I'm saying right now is that despite my numerous attempts and investment, like spending money on trying to get information out of the New South Wales Police Media Department, it's been fruitless. Nothing has been yielded from those endeavours. And I think during a time like this, when, you know, people are encouraged to drink and celebrate, and then told by rather average advertising campaigns, hey, be careful on the roads. I think that all of the messaging that we could get out there to say, look, let's all cooperate and show some respect and we'll get respect and blah, 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 make things better. All of those things could really add up. And potentially make things a little bit safer on our roads. But the lack of collaboration or the lack of a cooperative approach astounds me. Anyway, I don't know if any of that makes sense, but you know, I'm still going to follow up and try and pursue the New South Wales Police and just say, hey, what can we do to make things better? And a big part of the problem is that people want to order food to get delivered on a bicycle by bike riders who really aren't paying attention to the roads or even the product that they're delivering, you know, like the hamburgers or pizzas. They're just looking at their phone, trying to work out where the hell they are, and then, you know, disobeying the road rules. And all of the traction that we got during the pandemic when people came to the bicycle and the good, the good media, the good news vibe has been destroyed by basically a lack of communication on how to ride in traffic, how to drive with bike riders. I've said it so many times before, so I don't think I should say it again, but I just did. Does that make sense? In other words, we all agree that there's stupid car drivers. We all agree that there's stupid bike riders. We all agree that it'd be much better if everyone sort of adhered to the road rules. So anyway, or didn't drink while they were driving, or blah, blah, blah. And I'll try and continue this conversation when there aren't runners distracting me. It is picture perfect weather. Well, I'll tell you a little story. So I just stopped at the top of the entrance to the Royal National Park down at Waterfall, and a copper was booking 2 moto guys, and for not pausing or not stopping at a stop sign on what's largely a clear road. Okay, it's an offence, right? We accept that. They accepted that. They were like, we paused, and he's going to review the situation. The copper told them. I was listening, so I asked if they knew where there might have been a tap while they were getting booked. But the reality is that of the misdemeanours that I've seen, certainly this morning, where I'm convinced that I've seen drunken drivers and certainly or drivers not adhering to the minimum passing distance, for example. There's so many different things that a copper could book someone for that are actually treacherous. And, pausing at a stop sign rather than stopping is a judgment call. You know, you're making an assessment of the situation. But just outright stupid behaviour in traffic can be policed. And it sort of got me thinking in the last little while, when I'm on the roads and you think, okay, if they're using cameras to detect phone usage and they're actually pinging people for doing that, that's a good start. But how is it that we can have all these surveillance cameras around the world on our road networks, but then when people are doing stupid antics in traffic, we can't use that footage to book them? In the modern world, I think there's sufficient technology to highlight, to confirm who is involved, and then to police the situation. You know, if you can police someone using a telephone from a camera, surely you can use those same cameras to see if someone's tailgating or swerving or speeding or goodness knows what, but not stopping at a stop sign where there's very, very, very little traffic. That's just, I said to the guys on the moto, it's just like sitting there waiting to shoot fish in a barrel. Like, yeah, okay, you're pinging a moto rider who's probably out going to go a little bit fast at times, but they weren't doing anything dangerous at that moment, and it just makes you wonder, why don't they go and actually get people who are doing stupid things? I'm just going to take in the scenery today. I'm trying to articulate myself, but it's a bigger topic. There's no solution because the authorities aren't interested in finding a solution. They're just interested in minimising paperwork. I think that's the reality. I've been hopeful that I'd see a lyrebird, but I haven't today. There's just too much traffic. But and I started later than I would have liked to, but these things happen. I can't talk because there's another moto. Just rolling again. Behind me, this guy called Sam. He's a mountain biker for the last 10 years, but he'd come to road cycling in the last year. And he just, a little while ago, came up to me and said, "Hey, you the YouTube guy?" I said, "Yes, sort of, maybe, potentially." He said, I was watching you last night and that's why I'm here." Isn't that cool? Yeah, so see how far I go. Maybe I'll go to Wollongong, but then I've got to work out which way I'm going home. So that's the little trap. But for now, I've been enjoying the ride. Good morning. And the view, chat with a few riders, bike riders and moto riders, and great weather. Winds 0, humidity intense. That's about it. So, if you've watched my videos at all, you've seen this, but I'm going to show you again. Approaching Sublime Point, and at this point, at this moment, before I see the gradient, I'm considering going up Bulli Pass and going back home via Sublime Point. But I think it's been years since I've ridden Bulli Pass, and I think the last time I did it, I said, never do that again, Rob. Hey fellas. I went down the coast and then I committed, I went up Bulli Pass, which is why I'm unzipped. Fuck me. Oh, that was, yeah, it's brutal. But if you just put your head down, put it in the easiest gear and just like tap and tap and tap and tap and tap and tap and climb 400 meters in about 8 kilometers, you can get there. And the gradients makes it hard, but it's the dickheads in cars. Like, I know you've got a couple of 100 meters where there's no shoulder and they've got to slow down, but like, chill the fuck out, it's a Sunday, you know? Anyway, I've done this here to talk about how I do it all the time, but I'm going to keep doing it. You ready? Yeah, you know what to expect. I don't know if I'll even do it today. Yeah, I will. There's heaps of people, but I'll do it. Hello. Yeah, so I was just down there not that long ago. I did all of this last Sunday. Anyway, I'm going to zip it back up and then just get back home. And hope, from what I feel, with that breeze, that's going to be a tailwind home. So I'm a winner. Only takes a moment of pause to find your legs again. So I've had a moment of pause, and guess what? They're still here. All right, thanks for joining me. This is where I say goodbye, usually. Don't know which way I'm going to go home, but you don't care. It's all getting a bit repetitive. I'm going to get out of town soon. Life will be good. All right, cheers, bye. So, very familiar scene because it was just a week ago that I went to Sublime Point to talk about how great it is to be there and what a good mood it puts me in, and then I concluded with my ride summary here. And I went to Sublime Point again, but it wasn't quite just a repeat because of the little coastal venture down along the Seacliff Bridge and da-da-da. So, but the conclusion's the same. It's nice to be on the bike. I will say, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing these longer rides from home base, from the office, for the next couple of weeks, because this is, they call it silly season. I would call it more like fuckwit season, because there is festivities, but there is also, what would you say, just a propensity for stupidity on the road, anywhere else. But you know, I'm experienced. I'm talking about my experience on the road. So yeah, a lot of dickheads around. And the thing is, everyone else, like I said last week, you know, like the percentage of dickheads, it's pretty slim. But when you do get a dickhead, they're so dangerous and they're so entitled, and they come in different forms. You know, they might be young and stupid, or they might be old and rich and entitled, or they might just be just fucking ignorant. But whatever category they fall in, a dickhead's a dickhead, and it can make it just a bit too dangerous. And, you know, harking back to my original point, or one of them from earlier today, you know, like, respect goes a long way. Respect begets respect. Respect begets respect. And there are laws that are meant to ward off dickhead actions, but it's just not possible for the police to manage all of those laws because there's just too much paperwork. You know, I've been told by officers, off the record, you know, like they don't want to be quoted, but, and it's not just one or two, it's pretty much every copper I know tells me, look, we can book heaps of baddies and we can, in theory, make the roads a safer place by enforcing the law, but it's the cumbersome paperwork that ensues every infringement notice that makes it not workable arrangement, not viable, not practical. So, I don't know. I was trying to think what a solution could be, but, you know, like if we could just, you know, I don't know what to say. Let's just say we live in a world where there are dickheads, and you know, no one likes a dickhead, but what can you do? They exist. So we just have to live with them and work out how to not let it sort of interfere with our life, you know, in a dangerous manner or an upsetting manner. Yeah, that's probably my conclusion for the day as I go past this swamp. Thanks for watching. I said that before. Into the sunlight, almost home, 150k ride in the heat, and yeah, first Sunday of summer, and the urge to get out of town is getting stronger and stronger by the minute and by the kilometre ridden in Sydney. Still, you know, it could be worse. You know, I could live in Melbourne